Okay, so those are some of the things the channel will be talking about. Also, because of the subject matter, this is just a brief uh, preview of my particular interest in things that I've done in my collection of silver, in particular coins. These coins over here are numismatics in the cases. They're never removed from the case because they're certified as MS-70s. This is basically 1 ounce bullion, and those are numismatic coins. And some of these coins, they appreciate in value. So that's my one of my a part of my collection. Now, the the channel will have a list of a playlist, not only of the videos that I will be speaking on, and also answering any questions that may come my way as we build. And but I would also have quite a few uh, reference points. For example, Robert Kiyosaki, which cash flow quadrants, rich dad, poor dad, and we will have uh, Maloney, uh, Mike Maloney, who speaks about the secrets of money and the significance and importance of gold and silver. We'll have many other people that we will refer to in some of these reference points so that we could expand our understanding of why it's critical and important with this economic downturn. We have the dollar that is depreciating, its purchasing power is far diminished from its original. Um, and we have quantitative easing with dollars are being printed out of thin air by the Federal Reserve, which we must keep in mind the Federal Reserve is not federal. And the Federal Reserve banks are privately owned corporations. A lot of people, this is what we mean by public, private, and hidden. Uh, you know, we are not financially literate. If you ask someone what money is, and possibly if you thought it was a dollar bill, because you know how many people have died, and it's monopoly money, just because in their perception they thought that this paper that they're printing now unlimitedly, creating the most massive debt that we've ever experienced in the history of the world. Even if we had the money from the whole world at our disposal, we couldn't pay the United States debt. And this is unprecedented. Nobody knows exactly how it's going to explode and implode, because see, we're going to have inflation, hyper, and then we're going to have deflation, which is an expansion and contraction of the monetary market. We're going into an economic reset. We must, in order to protect ourselves, follow what countries are doing, what the banks are doing, and that is accumulating gold and silver. More specifically, gold, because they want to possibly ensure that no matter what the new monetary system may be, or this reset may produce, if you have the gold, you're going to be a private banker on a massive level. Right now, I'm specifically focusing on silver as opposed to gold, not because the gold costs more, but the silver, the gold, we already know that they made gold illegal before, just like they're trying to make cryptocurrency and Bitcoin legislated and under regulation in order to diminish the power of the blockchain. However, that's another subject. We want to stick to the gold and silver. The reason that I focus on silver, more specifically silver eagles, is because if they make it illegal to have gold, it won't really affect silver because it's almost impossible to make silver illegal because it's such a valuable commodity. Silver is used in computers and in test. Our man Elon Musk, his cars, the Tesla, all this technology is basically utilizing silver. So silver is a commodity, and in the commodity market, it's necessary. So it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to make silver illegal. So now, what would that mean, and what would that how? So some of the strategy we will discuss is when the housing market collapses, when you have all these surplus houses that are going to go into foreclosure. We have the largest default rate in the history of the world right now. And people who are unable to pay their mortgages and they've lost their jobs, and some of the businesses have shut down that will never be reopened. And consequently, when the housing these houses right now are super inflated. This is a seller's market, not a buyer's market. When would the buyer market be? Well, when the real estate bubble busts, this is the first time in history where all the bubbles are going to bust at the same time with the crash of the monetary system. So it's not going to be the housing market bubble in 2008, which wiped out 401k, just destroyed a lot of people, a lot of families, and shifted the largest amount of wealth in the history of the world. This is going to be even more massive because it's all the bubbles at one time: the stock market, the housing market, the credit market, and anything else that's connected to the fiat currency, which is the dollar. Now, what is your insurance against this crash and all these bubbles? Your gold and your silver. We'll talk about how to become a private banker and how to strategize. One real example is when the housing market crashes, all these houses will be on the market surplus. The dollar will be, you would need so many dollar bills to buy a house. But as the dollar crashes, the gold and silver rises up. Very conservatively, an ounce of gold will be, and I'm being it's going to be, I won't even name the price because you'd probably think that, it's unrealistic. Well, so I'm not even going to name the price. But what I will tell you is that the houses will be dirt cheap. So you can step in with some gold and silver and buy those houses for like pennies on the dollar. Yes, pennies on the dollar. So a strategy is to wait till the market crashes, come in, buy up the houses. Isn't that what the rich people do? And now another thing that they do, and this is partially what we need to discuss in the secrets of money, they have trusts. You can't even sue them. You can't, because all their trusts are what they call irrevocable trusts, some religious trusts, complex trusts. But this is the point. They are trusts in perpetuity, meaning the beneficiaries in the trust fund, the corpus of the trust, is all of their wealth and is passed on generation after generation after generation. So when you go after them, they control the trust as the trustee or the grantor, but they don't own the trust. So if you sue them, you can't bother the trust because the trust belongs to the beneficiaries. They're just an officer. So basically, they're outside of the realm. And another thing that they do, they never use debit cards. They only use credit cards. Now, more specifically, as your own complex trust with an LLC, you would use your strategy. I'm going a little bit into strategies now. I don't really want to go. I want to just introduce you that this is the first video that's on the introductory. This is an introduction to the YouTube channel 7K Metals, and we will have further discussion on a variety of subject matters: the economy, inflation, hyperinflation, how to protect yourselves, how to utilize your insurance policies. We will discuss everything to become financially literate and the best strategies to operate with in these very uncertain economic times. Uh, and unfortunately, I didn't even mention that we would have gasoline shortages because we're going through another period of dealing with supply lines and the prices of gas going up. So therefore, uh, and another thing is going to, the repossession of automobiles because they're going to be a large surplus of automobiles as well. Um, and what have you done and what are you doing to protect yourself? Do you have uh, at least 3 months worth of food stored up, dry food, not refrigerated food? Oh, okay. Oh, I see what happened. My battery's going dead. Okay. All right. So we're still in good shape here. I'm going to end this video for now as the introduction to the 7K Metals YouTube channel dealing in the subject matter of financial literacy, how to protect yourself, and all and any and all other subject matters. And I look forward to having these conversations as we build and build upon our understanding, knowledge, and wisdom on how to to accumulate wealth, how to protect wealth, and how to maintain wealth from generation to generation, from generation to protect our families and our future generations. Okay, thank you. And I'm looking forward to continue to have these conversations on a daily basis. And in the meantime, may you have a great, fantastic, blessed day. Thank you so much.